Alright, so today's pick is going to be from English progressive rock band, supergroup actually. The album was released in 1970 on Island Records. It's the debut album from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I have this album on vinyl. It's not great condition, but excellent album. You guys know, if you know me, you know I love Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Definitely one of my favorite prog bands from that classic era. And they came out with just an amazing debut album right out of the gate. Created this sound that was, kind of taking a lot of classical elements and fusing it with hard rock that no one had ever really heard before. It was a very groundbreaking sound that they came up with, a very, elaborate and extravagant sound that's kind of, a lot of noodling and fuddling around, but when they're tight together, it sounds amazing. Opening track, The Barbarian, is almost like inadvertently kind of the beginnings of like stoner metal and stoner rock in a way, alongside bands like, Sabbath and Zeppelin, with that, heavy fuzzed out bass, that kind of slower tempo, kind of mixing the slower and faster tempos with that, in the middle where it's got that huge bass note that just like overpowers everything, and then it speeds up with the drums and the piano, and everything kind of twists back at the end. Very cool opening track. Second song, Take a Pebble. Another really cool song. Very long, drawn out, but beautiful song. The beginning has this nice little, I don't know what instrument it is. It almost sounds like auto harp or something, or maybe it's just like the open strings of a piano. I'm not really sure, but very, very cool. Greg Lake's vocals sound great, just as they were on like King Crimson's albums that he was on around this time period. But great melodies. The middle section, I love Keith Emerson's crazy piano work. Really cool sounding, very soulful sounding in a way, and that kind of cool little acoustic guitar thing that they do with the water sounds in the middle is weird, but I like it a lot. And then everything kind of finishing very intensely at the end, and then right into Knife Edge, which is like the greatest intro of any song, on the toms, with its weird imaginative lyrics that when I first heard it as a kid, I just thought it was like one of the coolest songs ever, and it's definitely my favorite song on the album. One of my favorite Emerson, Lake and Palmer songs, just absolutely crushes, and then has that cool little Bach fugue sounding middle section. I assume it's a Bach piece, I'm not sure which one, but I know he is credited on it, as well as another composer. Just very, very cool. And then the slow down at the end to like kind of close side one as it slows down and crumbles into dust is just a really cool effect. That was like the first time I think I'd ever heard a song do that sort of ending. So just a really epic opening side. And then on side two, you got the Three Faiths, where Keith Emerson's got his huge pipe organs and crazy piano work. Just epic song. Tank is another instrumental where, you got the Carl Palmer drum solo. And then Lucky Man, the closing track, is, fan favorite. Beautiful song. Great lyrics. And a really cool synth ending that I believe was done kind of off the cuff and like in a one practice take, if I'm not mistaken. So amazing debut album, one of the best 70s classic prog albums. So there it is, number 11. Top 10 is coming up.